Welcome back to another episode of my trading vlog, where most of the views come from returning subscribers. If that's you, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider it. We're going to go through a lot today. SPY, AMC, GameStop, Tesla, Bitcoin, PLBY, and NVDA. I have about 2.5 minutes to do it before people start dropping off per the metrics, so I'm going to get this really quickly. SPY in the daily time frame, a very bearish candle appearing. My target's 430.45 currently, since we passed below the bearish reversal level at 435. The volume was pretty low for the day, but this is coming off of a high high volume day prior. Implied volatility is now starting to tick up as price is dropping, which is really kind of bearish. If the correlation turns positive, that's probably meaning that we're in a motive wave where we're going to make progress in the price pushing down at a larger wave degree. MACD is now starting to show red. We could begin for a corrective phase, which could be pretty long. I mean, 416 is where bearish reversal occurs at a much larger degree. We could be coming all the way down there to test that level before we head higher or completely break down. In my opinion, it looks like SPY is getting ready to spill down, like really spill down. It's gonna be fun, I think. AMC is also moving down. I have an analysis here that shows from the peak of February 27th, we've been in a corrective phase, very much sideways grind in a wave B. You could look at this as a horizontal triangle. You could look at this as a falling wedge as well. There's a lot of different ways you could kind of pick this apart. The volume and the implied volatility are telling me currently that we're going to be heading lower. The MACD is still red. Zooming into the daily candle a little bit. Now, I want to go into this measured move down that I've shown. If I can find it, just zoom in. There we go. That looks good. You can see at the minute degree shown in white here, A, B, and we're looking for C. That C target is way down there at 222 on a smaller degree. We're going to zoom into the 50-minute time frame here to show this one at the minuet degree. Yeah, I show waves A and B in blue, passing below 450, confirming wave C. That target for wave C is still down here at 358. We haven't reached that yet. On an even smaller degree, on the sub-minuet degree, shown in yellow, we've definitely hit that. This push down would be wave A, the bounce would be wave B. Confirmation occurred here at 450, and the wave C target would be 403, which we've reached today. So we've reached the sub-minuet wave target, looking for the minuet degree target, and then finally the minute target at 222. Heading this low, it's like, is it going to keep dropping? And I'm like, probably. There is a bullish divergence here in the RSI, and that's okay. I'm going to be watching for this to break, actually, and then for one more significant low to come in. And from there, we'll see what happens. I really think we're looking for the absolute low in AMC. We're bottom hunting. We're not there yet. Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride while we go diving. GameStop, big flag, broke down sideways and passing below that $23, $24 level I was saying would be confirming a measured move down. Much like an AMC, the target here is 2081. If it extends, 1842. There is a gap to fill way back here somewhere. I think that's around that $16 price target. Again, we're having a bullish divergence form here, but we don't really want to rely on that divergence to say, hey, the price is reversing, we're going to see momentum shift. This doesn't look like it's ready to turn around. Not yet. I think we're going to hit oversold a couple more times before we see anything significant happen there. Moving on to Tesla. I'm putting this into a line chart and also into the hourly time frame because that's how I drew the I drew the drawing. Okay, so through here, I saw in blue, you're going to see this, an ascending broadening wedge or a broadening top, a megaphone. You can call it really whatever you want. Essentially, the price is expanding and reaching that target at 2602. We're looking for a reversal above there, which we did have. This would be wave C at the minute degree, and this was an alternative count I had. This turns out to be the better count. I posted on Twitter, partial rises are looping chart patterns that appear at the end of broadening patterns and rectangles. They predict an immediate downward breakout, and this is per Bulkowski's website, thepatternsight.com. I encourage everyone to go there. It's really where I do most of my learning and my chart pattern analysis from, aside from Frost and Precher's Elliott Wave Principle book. At any rate, you can see that the price spilled down from that partial rise and is going for a gap fill. That's what this gray zone shows. There's another gap fill zone down at 195. If the markets are topping out, we're going into correction. We're going to go fill these gaps. Probably. This is really where I think we're going to go do. The MACD is looking very bearish, but you could see this continue to go down for a while. I'm not really sure what's pushing the markets to do this right now. We're going to go to Bitcoin. If it loads, there we go. And we've been in a big uptrend. Before this uptrend occurred, I wonder if I have it on the hourly time frame, there was an initial push higher out of this broadening pattern, which I identify as a reverse horizontal triangle in Elliott wave analysis. You're going to see that I have ABC waves lined out through here. Typically, you get wave C, which pushes up and out if your wave A is up. Wave B precedes the third wave of the move, and if it's in a triangle, reverse or otherwise, typically that third move is pretty strong. That's what we've seen. We had a big push higher, and the target was 31,345, which we nearly reached on April 14th until just recently, where we've bounced off of bearish reversal. You see this price target or this level at 25,945. This was a very good level to watch. Price dipped below here and then turned around and flew higher and reached that 31,345 target. We are now, I think, in another broadening pattern, and we're going to be watching for a push lower in the short to near term. And I think this might be waves A, B, and C, where wave C might be motive and could set a new low. Expanding corrective waves are the worst. At that point, at 28,973, we'll talk about whether or not Bitcoin is going to reverse and head much lower. The bearish reversal confirmation is really low. It's still at around 26 grand. So the price floating near 30 grand is still pretty good. We're not going to get any more bullish price targets until we get above 31,345 at the moment. I'm going to be sitting and waiting and watching to see what Bitcoin does on this uptrend, which started just a few days ago, really. Looking into the next one, gotta go quick. Let's go to NVDA. NVIDIA had a pretty bad day today. I had a critical level of support and resistance labeled at 419, and today the price spilled through there, and with volume, implied volatility is now ticking up, which probably means progress is being made to the downside. We're probably in motive mode. The MACD has swung negative. The RSI formed a bearish divergence, and we are seeing that bearish divergence hold. Typically, I say we see the bearish divergence break, right? We did have a little break right here on 620, and that really could be it. We could be looking for a larger spill down now. It'd be corrective in nature until we get to about... probably till we get below the first day after earnings. That low at 366.35 is going to really represent a significant reversal level. But honestly, I want to say I'm looking for a rising diagonal to form here. I don't see that. It'd be kind of a funny top to not have that rising diagonal. I would expect to see one more wave. It would look really tempting. It would definitely break this bearish divergence and just be a big bull trap. That's kind of what I'm looking for in the very short term, but it looks like this is starting to turn and go the other way. I'm not too certain about where we're going to go from here. We could be establishing a long sideways trading range between 419 and 380. A lot can happen here. Perhaps we even form a full hedge or top, some other topping pattern. And we'll see the RSI start to make larger swings as the average starts to become easier to move as time goes on and the price moves in a smaller range. Very possible. I'm watching the implied volatility very closely, I think, for most of my cues to look for the bearish reversal. Going on to PLBY. PLBY has been in a nosedive lately. This is the only thing I'm holding long right now. Big spill down. And on the daily time frame, it looks like we've had what's called a high wick candle. It's a candle of indecision, and we had it on pretty substantial volume above that 30-period average. Of course, the volume for the spill down on 623 was much higher. I kind of wanted to see how much of this was buying and how much was selling volume, but I forgot to do that the day of. It's hard to get on Thinkorswim afterwards. At any rate, to me, this looks like we could be looking for a bottom, which is fantastic news. We were going through some sort of broadening pattern, I suppose. It could be that we're finding that between 178 and this lower trend line I show through here. This does look like a falling wedge, right? And we've had the upward breakout. And until price really breaks that last low at 142, we're okay. We're okay because wave 2 can retrace all of wave 1, but not more than. It can't completely retrace wave 1, I should say. Coming down this far, it hasn't quite done that. If I zoom in a little bit, we get a better idea. We reached that 147 target perfectly. And I was saying we would do that if we passed below 166 or 161, it might have been. And we've done that. We've seen that push down. That downtrend has now broken. The question is whether or not we're in a corrective balance before spilling lower, or if this is actually going to be a substantial reversal. You see that the implied volatility ticked up as price was dropping, which suggests that the price will continue to drop. The MACD is in negative territory. I'm waiting for a very specific news event here to turn PLBY around. It's probably not going to come anytime soon. You're going to be watching that 143 level very carefully. But price target met on PLBY. Price targets met on Bitcoin. Price target met on Tesla, AMC, SPY, all over the place. That's as long as I want to make this video because typically people don't watch more than 2.5 minutes. So if you've stuck around this long, thank you very much. Hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, get in the Discord. Happy trading.